Sarah said, "My little girl is 3 and only recently been talking about her life before. She told me she used to be a boy named Thomas, and her other mom was called Kathy. She also said nobody knows where she is. Has anyone had any experience with how to get more information from her? I'm very intrigued, but also a little scared. She gets very upset when talking about it. Can I also point out she has a fear of birds, heights, and airplanes, though she has never been on one in her life. This one, anyway. Any advice would be appreciated." Sarah, I so love that you're asking this question, and I have to tell you everyone, that this age, around 3, when this child starts being able to express itself and to talk, is really when so much of these memories start showing up. And actually, I have to tell you, it's usually around 6 7 at the latest, 5 6, when children stop remembering their lives. If adults remind them, it feels like they're just hearing a story. They don't connect with it anymore. So this is really a window of time when we can talk to the kids and they can spontaneously remember past lives. So so children very often will bring the conversation just spontaneously. Literally, they're in the middle of playing, or you're doing something with them, or you're driving somewhere, literally in the middle of something else, and just casually they will drop some piece of information. They'll say something like, "Before this life, God sent me to you to watch over you, Daddy." Or they will say something like what Sarah you shared about my other mom and dad. And so in those moments, I wanna suggest that you stay calm, don't overreact, don't shut down the child and say you're imagining this, don't ever talk about this, right? Don't go into a place of fear. Instead, as if you're literally talking about anything else, just ask open-ended questions. Just write open heart, normal conversation, just like you would talk about anything else the child is sharing. So just ask questions. And they will volunteer more information or they will not. And so one of the things I suggest that you do is that you actually find a way to record what they're saying. If you're able to, you can turn on your phone's recorder and just record their voice so that you have the authentic words, or afterwards just jot down what they said, or find another way to record what your child said, because these things are as valuable as they are in the moment. We forget them. Even us adults forget them, the kids even more so. And so, something else you can do is you can just casually bring up the conversation when the child is in that place of just relaxed attention. How should I put it? In an alpha state where they're just relaxed and just kind of paying attention, playing, so there's really no stress in the moment. And so that could be a good time for you to just ask and just bring up the question and start asking more details. um another good time will be around bedtime that you can bring this up. So a few years ago, when my niece was, at that time she was 4 years old, uh, I said to her, "Hey, baby girl, do you remember any other moms and dads?" And she said no. And so I said to her, "Well, do you know what I do?" And so, in a very childlike way, I explained to her that I help people see other lifetimes. And she expressed interest. And so I said to her, "Do you want to try this?" And so she was like, she immediately was happy, because to her it's another game. And so here's what's so interesting with regressing children. It's the easiest thing on earth because the child is already in a state of hypnosis. So when I was regressing my little niece, I didn't take a long amount of time to relax her. I immediately went into just a few words of relaxation, a few words of how she feels relaxed and how we're going to another time and place. And so when I brought her to another life, she immediately started talking about her mom and her dad and her crib, and she started describing these things. And it was, I wasn't sure if she's just remembering her present life, talking about her present life, right, her present experience. And then she said something about having a twin baby, there being another baby in the room, and she started talking about this other baby and how, it became something else. And so I was like, oh my god, she's really experiencing another life. And so this is also another way for you to um, get more information from your child. Now, of course, I know that not every one of you is a hypnotist. I know that not everybody will feel comfortable doing this. However, I will be amiss if I don't mention this and put the option in front of you. And so remember, it's really just about being sweet and loving and assuring and asking more questions. And gosh, it was recently that somebody told me the story of how she was changing her. She was putting pants on her little boy. The mom was putting pants on her little boy. She was getting him dressed. And he said to her, Mommy, do you remember when I was the mom and I was putting your diapers on? And that really stood out in her mind. And she shared this little piece with me. So these things happen. These things are beautiful and amazing because remember, your child doesn't come as a blank slate. Your child is a soul that has been through other lives, other times, other places. And yes, children choose their child as adults choose their child, right? It's a mutual process of we're going to be together in this life. And so there is a reason that the two of you are together. So I want to mention to you another story. So I worked with Christian. His mom, Kathy Bird, had written a story about him starting to have spontaneous. She had written a book, I should say, and the book is called "The Boy Who Knew Too Much." And Christian started having spontaneous memories about being a tall baseball player, and so he started talking about Babe Ruth, and he started talking about all these memories of being Lou Gehrig. And so eventually I got to work with Christian. And up until the point of me working with Christian, he had severe asthma, where there would be in the emergency room pretty much every week with him having severe asthma symptoms. And so, as you all know, Lou Gehrig died from Lou Gehrig disease, and actually the muscles couldn't support the breathing, right? And back then they didn't have breathing machines, and so naturally the child is experiencing the symptoms in this life as well. Naturally is a strong word because not all of us come in this life with memories. But anyway, I did a past life regression with him, and so what I did with him is this: I was assuring him that this is a different life, that the body doesn't need to experience these symptoms that he had now, the breathing symptoms that are now showing up as asthma, that the Lou Gehrig life is a different life. And sure enough, of course, he heard me, and now there is no asthma. no asthma. And I'm very grateful for Kathy sharing this and this piece of information publicly, so that we all understand that when children share traumatic past lives, um, we can help them. You can assure the child that the child is safe, that he or she is safe, that they don't need to bring these traumatic symptoms or this fear in their present life. So Sarah, as your little girl is talking about uh, mm, getting upset about the fear of heights and airplanes and birds, and you can really just assure her how you said that nobody knows where she is. You can really help her clear that anxiety and really let that go, because she is safe. This is a different life, and because you know her best, you will be able to find all the right words to soothe her discomfort. And I love how in one of the comments to Sarah's post, Dagny shared, "My daughter told me about her past life when she was about the same age. She was sitting on the bathroom counter watching me put makeup on when she started asking questions about the mirror and was saying how it looked like water. I guess the mirror triggered her memories because she ended up telling me that she went to the beach with her other family and told me in a baby way that she drowned. She said she went into the ocean, and then she held up her little fist showing me 5 fingers, counted down with the fingers 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, made a tight fist and said back. I encouraged her to talk about it, but didn't push her. And over about 2 weeks, she told me all kinds of stuff about her other family. She's 30 now and doesn't remember anything. Sure wish I wrote it down. She said she was 10 when this happened, and she was the youngest of three, just like she is in this life." Yeah, I totally get it. Like I was saying to you, kids lose the memories because you see, up until the age of 6 or 7, kids are in a state of natural hypnosis, and so they have such an easy access to all this information, and so we can really help them heal the trauma that they are connected, help them get more information, and really just be open, because remember, kids are our teachers, right? So many of us are opening up to reincarnation and spirituality because of the little things that our children say to us. I would love to hear your comments. I would love to hear your stories in the comments below this video. So send them to me. I'm excited to read them. Meanwhile, I'm sending you all my love, and we'll talk again soon.